It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for I didn't win last night.
Okay. All right.
So, for those who weren't aware, I guess I'll get into it
Yes.
right off
Yeah. Yeah.
the show. Um, I did. I have a thing in here. Give me a second.
It is there. It does exist.
Yes, it was this. I did Quizplex last night, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Of course.
I didn't embarrass myself. It was my first wrestling trivia thing in quite a bit, so I did not
Right. That's
embarrass
fair.
myself.
That's
Um,
fair.
Trivia wise, I actually would have won the episode, but the way the
Oh.
show
Okay.
works, the way the show works is like if you get a bunch of donations in your name towards the charity, then you win, which is
Oh.
fine because it raises a lot of money for charity. So
Sure. Sure.
I didn't embarrass myself. That's the big key.
That is always crucial when you're somewhere that the content is familiar, but the surroundings are not. So that's good. That's good that you were able to conduct yourself in a manner proper. I will say this: it's also time for Jeff paid for Twitter, so we're on Twitter this week. So
Oh,
there you go. Yeah,
I was
there,
wondering
yeah,
why I was wondering why the numbers were up. I
yeah.
appreciate
I
it.
was like, I decided in the last few weeks that I am incapable of self editing. So I figured throw it out there for the whatever it is a month, and if I get too far along in my process, I go probably shouldn't send that tweet. Let's go ahead and edit that now that's already out there. Oh shit, let's backtrack. But I'm also able to post videos on Twitter, which is nice. I wasn't able to do that for a while, and it sucks because I need to sometimes get on and just vent and just like do that for 15 minutes. And now I can do that again on all my platforms. So it's nice.
I appreciate that. Listen, I like using Twitter for the video editing purposes and like putting
Mhm.
videos up, especially the live stuff. Like,
Right?
because I had it, I think it was still a free service through doing Jack of all trades with Maven. Fortunately,
Right. Yep.
so that is still up on my Twitter. It should still be my pin post.
I believe
But
it
yeah,
is. Yes.
I'm telling you what, like Twitter in and of itself sucks. So
Well,
bad.
yeah, it was starting to suck as it was, and then the ownership changed, and we thought, oh, okay, here's something different, and we thought, oh, wait, here's something different. So it just kind of is what it is. But at the end of the day, much like Facebook, much like Instagram, much like all the things, we still live in a world where social outlets are a damn near requirement, certainly a necessity. So, and if we need to promote, and you and I both talked about that you're not comfortable with self promotion, I am just wanting to get everything out there for everybody, and which is why I wanted to make sure I was here. I ended up unexpectedly off work today, and due to miscommunication, I'm off all week next week.
Yeah,
So I've got all the things, all the time available. I'll be on this show next week. I will try to be on Shenanigans Saturday if I'm not committed. It feels like I am, but I can't remember why. Because my brain is what it is. But yeah, Jeff being off until WrestleMania karaoke is now no longer a thing. I am available all next week. I'm here today, and I love your topic because I've had a chance to talk about my boy's recent shift in long form with anybody really. So I'm here for it.
yeah. The John Cena heel turn. People have had mixed emotions about it.
Yeah.
Like obviously, the moment itself at Elimination Chamber was a big deal because
Oh my
it's
God.
something we never thought would happen, especially
Yeah.
on his farewell tour. We were like, okay, Cena's just gonna do what he does, show up, and this is
Right.
something unexpected.
It
So
is.
I got to get your thoughts on it.
Well, it's so funny, Greg. You and I both know that even now, with wrestling as popular as it has become in the last, you know, during the John Cena Roman Reigns era, let's be clear on that. Those two guys have been at the forefront of the resurgence of wrestling into the mainstream.
Yeah.
Um, Having said that, it's still kind of like we're hiding. Oh geez, balls head damn shit. Sorry, I'm trying to reset my camera because I realized there's a big giant glare of my already bald head. So with the hat on, it wasn't doing any favors. There we go. Hi. But yes, so we still kind of like, you like wrestling. I wore my Cena farewell tour shirt to work the other day, before I went to costuming and got my proper attire. Oh, geez, hi.
Oh,
All right, there we go. We're
just
still trying to get the
we're
new
on
equipment
camera.
figured out, folks. Yeah, yeah, yes. We're not that kind of YouTube, folks. Sorry. If you're looking for that, you're in the wrong place. Anyway,
Hey, maybe
thanks guys for that.
that'll raise viewers. You never know.
Just because Sean enjoyed the Big Great Koski doesn't mean we all need to have the full Jeff Monty. Okay, that's not necessary. Anyway.
Listen, at this point, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get viewers.
Oh my God! I'm gonna rat you out to your wife for that shit. No,
You
reel
probably
him
think
in.
do it.
We've gone that far. Okay, good to know. Good to know we're in that place.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wore the Cena shirt to work, and I was going through our security checkpoint right by my location for where I report every day, and I got into a 15-minute conversation with the guard about it. It was just it's spawning chat all throughout the mainstream world, and it's wonderful to see it. Um, you and I both know how fond I am of John and how long he and I have been acquainted, and
Yep.
it's wonderful to see him get to do what he really wanted to do when he was feuding with The Rock.
Yeah.
Because I personally feel what he has said the last 2 weeks on television has been very much. It could have very easily been woven into the Rock conversation.
Mhm.
We had taken John Cena for granted prior to the Rock's return, and his return 2011. I'm referring to,
Right.
and people were so quick to hop on the Dwayne Express, and John was like, "Okay, we'll just see where this goes." And he was fully prepared to commit to embracing his dark side at that point. He talked about it with Van Vliet a year ago in the interview. Which, by the way, I reposted that clip because I love Chris too, and I just thought it was a
Right.
great interview, and I thought that clip was so powerful. Now looking back, anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but as I do, I am so happy that this is the route they chose. I'm so glad this is the path they've taken, and I am just counting the days until WWE hits Vegas. I have told my peoples at work, if you all give me the week or at least the weekend off, you're not going to have me in Anaheim spending money into the company. I'm going to be in Vegas enjoying the ambiance. I'm not going to Mania; it's too goddamn expensive. But I will be in Las Vegas if I have that stretch of days off. Right now, I don't. I don't even know my schedule beyond next Saturday. But if it happens, I'm going. I'm finding a way to be in Las Vegas because I want to be around it when it happens.
I mean, I'm hoping to make it to Vegas at some point. Like, I obviously it won't be for WrestleMania,
Right.
Financial situation notwithstanding.
Right.
But it's still like being at WrestleMania. Both of us have been to Mania before. You've been to 3 of them, I believe now.
Yes.
21, 24, and 39, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. And I, of course, was at WrestleMania 28. So it's not something that is out of the norm for us.
Right.
It's just actually getting there and making the shit happen.
Yeah, well, again, you hear the prices online, and I try very hard to not buy into the rhetoric. I try to, tend to do my own research. If current financial situations had not gone so sideways so quickly here in the last, we'll call it 2 weeks, I could afford a combo ticket if I really wanted to. It's only $550 ish. Now, granted, I'm sitting at the top of the arena, a stadium, which not my first time doing that at WrestleMania, right, Orlando? But I'd be willing to do it. There's just a lot of things to factor in. Still got the kid here. He'll be in full school effect. So depending on how many days I get off, is it responsible to go? Probably not. If it's my turn to have him on the weekends, do I just say go ahead and take him, Mom? No, of course not, because that's just screwed up. So a lot of things factor in, but the main thing is if money falls the way it falls, then it's a consideration. Right now, it's just more about me going out and being part of it. And low key, under the radar, if I happen to be in Vegas on April 20th and Rob's there, he gets to fulfill my edict to him that if I ever do, it'll be with him.
There you go.
He lives in Vegas, so why not?
Yeah. So what have you thought about seeing those promos the last couple weeks? Have you thought that they've been solid answers as to why he's turned heel, or do you think they're just kind of filling time until the next big segment? Because I don't think this week's Raw hit as hard as the first week for
I agree
me.
with that. I agree with that.
So I don't know what they're waiting on exactly.
Yeah, it seemed like, and again, he made some very valid points this week too, but it very much felt like there was hesitancy to pull a sharper trigger.
Yeah.
First week in Belgium was so good. It was so good. The minute his music hit and he came out to the regular song, regular gear, and the people were just so uh, predestined, prejudged to be mad at him for daring to not have new gear and new music. They were
Yeah.
they were ready to boo him anyway. You could hear the visceral when the first note hit. It was like, oh no, here we go. And they tore him to shreds and he tore them right back. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful segment between John and the audience in Brussels. It was just everything you wanted it to be. And I did see it pointed out quite a bit, I think even by you. That wouldn't have happened in the United States.
That wouldn't have happened. The last time I remember Cena getting that kind of reaction was Money in the Bank, 2011.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was flat out John against the world. Much like Chicago, like you said, much like One Night Stand and the Hammerstein. That was John against the world. And this time there wasn't even a whisper of reprieve. There was a couple of people in, well, maybe not in New York. People wanted to bury him alive in New York and just throw away the freaking keys to the cemetery. But in Chicago, there were still a couple of folks. Not here.
Yeah.
Every single person that wasn't already wearing Cena gear was going to be booing him. And that poor kid, poor kid, just, I don't mean to laugh. It's horrible because even still, he's still saying that John's his hero and he's just in character and he gets it. He's a smart kid.
Yeah.
But man, it's just it's one viral moment after the other, which is really what you want from something like this. We can't treat this like we would have treated it had he done it to The Rock or had he
Mhm.
done it any time before this. This is a whole new world we're living in here with John turning heel in 2025. And like you said, the retirement tour is definitely a odd case. I would argue it's the perfect time because if this is his last year full time, which all signs point to it being the case, lay out, man. Just throw everything at the wall. Everything's sticking so far.
Yeah. Now, as far as the rest of the WrestleMania build,
Okay.
do you think there's any weak spots for me? And you may disagree with this. I am not a fan of the build for the WWE Women's Championship match. I'm
Nor
just
am I.
and like I read a report. I don't know its validity. It's wrestling reporting, so you gotta take some of it with a grain of
Yes,
salt. But
absolutely.
there was a report that Charlotte figured out what Tiffany's lines were for their face to face or like side by side promo on
Mhm.
SmackDown and prepared stuff for her. And I was thinking to myself, is like, is that a little bit of going into business for yourself?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
which again, I'm not the biggest Charlotte Flair fan. I've told people just as much. I've said
Yeah.
it on social media. I'm not exactly a Charlotte Flair fan. I
No.
think I think Charlotte is a fantastic athlete. Like I've
Mhm.
said that. I've said she's a great athlete. In the ring, she knows what she's doing. But as a character, can't stand it.
No. No. Uh, Again, I have been unapologetically supportive of Charlotte.
Yeah,
Um, I found it interesting that both her and Natty recently talked about their big moments and their favorites of everything. Neither one of them mentioned that match that I've held in such regard for so long. Even Natty, who looks like she's maybe looking at the end of the line here,
yeah.
with the book coming out and everything. Neither one of them mentioned that match. I throw it out there because I watched Natty's interview with Ariel Alani. Um, I don't know what to make of both women's championship builds. I'm not really a fan of either side of that particular brand coin. The Raw
Yeah.
thing feels like they really don't know what they want to do, so they're just throwing it out there and see how the reaction is. Whereas on SmackDown, yeah, Tiffany looked flustered the other night. It was a rough watch. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the women's championship build so much so that unlike I have in recent years where I've kind of co-signed with my old dad's co-host JJ about this, I don't feel either women's championship match deserves a main event or an opener slot. I don't like at all.
Here's the thing. To take a quote from you, I
Yes, sir.
I feel like that there's going to be some shenanigans on Monday with the women's title match with Bianca as special referee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Feel like I don't think if Rio straight up wins and like leaves Io out of it, it feels like Io's just been an afterthought this entire build. Like if it's just straight up Rhea versus Bianca,
Yeah.
I think people would be. The thing is, like, how do you satisfy anybody with the booking of this? Because if Rhea straight up wins, then Io gets screwed when her name was on the contract. It's like that she's going to be at WrestleMania, unless they just throw her in the triple threat. If Io straight up wins, then all the stuff with Rhea has been pointless, and you're going to have the match that you're scheduled to have anyway.
Right.
But if Bianca like does some shady stuff, like fast counts Rhea, or it gets a double disqualification or something, then possibly there's a way to get the triple threat because Bianca was just like, I don't know, screw you both.
I've said for a couple of weeks now, I'm not fully convinced Bianca was not involved in the Jade attack yet. I'm still not convinced that she's innocent in this.
I feel like that's going to be more of a story told, but they obviously want to have Bianca focused on the championship match. I am excited that we're getting her first. Can you believe that this is going to be the first one-on-one women's match at WrestleMania not involving a title since WrestleMania 22?
No shit.
It's been almost 2 decades.
That's right, because
Tori and Candice. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking, wait, that was Mickey and Trish. I honestly forgot about Tori and Candice. No offense to either one of them, but I think even they would agree that I'm okay with forgetting that. But yeah, Jade and because it's such a personal thing, it's okay. It is such a, and again, people are, I'm seeing a lot of criticism about that build as well, and I personally feel that this entire WrestleMania, with the exception of John and Cody, and now this triple threat with the men, it is a very awkward build. Like it feels like there's a lot of potholes in the road to WrestleMania this year. So I am trying very hard as one of the reasons why I wanted to step back until karaoke in a couple of weeks was just my inability to properly converse without getting nasty. And what I mean by that is I just want to sit back and enjoy the show on the 19th and the 20th. And I feel like the majority of the space of people in the internet community just want to nitpick and bitch and moan. And it's like, can't we just watch the goddamn show?
And that's fair. And the way I'm thinking about it is, obviously, I'm going to have my bitches. I'm going to have my complaints. I'm going to have my thoughts in the process. And like through my incredibly limited booking experience in the wrestling world, I don't want to say I'm entitled to my opinion, but I think I can have like a little bit of an idea.
No. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. It's just a matter of how many people want to respond to it. Before you get it, let me just really quick say hello to Colin Cleaver Colin Andrew, and commend him on the No DQ review moderating yesterday. He was the moderator, the host of the No DQ review yesterday. So just
there you go.
Yeah, it was awesome. And with him being the moderator through WrestleMania, you have been invited to return to the review at any time you want, brother.
See, Tuesdays are an incredibly difficult time because that's my poker night.
That's valid. That's valid.
So
But anyway,
unless it's a situation where I'm knocked out pretty quick, odds
that's
are
right.
odds
Right.
are in favor of that. But
Well, knowing your poker game, probably not going to happen. So there.
yeah. So
Anyway, your thoughts on
yeah.
bookings?
So my thoughts are, I'm thinking back to 10 years ago for the build to WrestleMania 31, and the
I
build
hear.
to WrestleMania 31 was kind of a train wreck.
Yeah, it was. I was saying it the night. So I was telling
Like
my dad about that.
the closing shot of Monday Night Raw was the tug of war over the title.
Oh, oh, the memed out tug of war. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you actually get to WrestleMania 31, and it's one of the best WrestleManias of all time.
Yeah. No, it was. It was a
So,
great show.
so from my opinion, and like I said this about the Sasha Bianca build for WrestleMania 37, the build wasn't great. The match was spectacular.
No, absolutely.
So I think we should reserve our judgments for the build to WrestleMania until WrestleMania happens and says, okay, maybe the build wasn't good, but the show was awesome. Now, if the show sucks, then you'll pour out your hearts for
Yeah.
all your opinions.
I really think the problem is, Greg, and you and I have both been fans long enough to, talk about this. The build to and the execution of WrestleMania 17 were so good
Yeah.
that it gets measured against every other WrestleMania, and it's just not fair.
Yeah.
Yes, the roster they have right now is, dare say, more stacked and more star-studded overall throughout the company than WrestleMania 17. Yes, you had an unbelievable roster prior to WrestleMania 17, not even counting the WCW influx. This hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah.
But this roster is not only so good and not only so deep, they're also just so damn talented. It's
Mhm.
like they can't figure out what to do with the plethora of people they have.
I'm thinking back. It's funny the WrestleMania 17 build gets so much love because, and I've brought this up on the show consistently, the
Yeah.
Benoit Angle build started on the Go Home Raw.
Yes. Yes.
That was one segment, and they had a match. That was it.
Yeah. And yes, it led to some fantasticness in the
Yeah.
in the next 3 months afterwards before King of the Ring. But my God, a one show build. It's like, okay, cool. But turned out fantastic. Even the undercard stuff had some decent builds to that year.
Mhm.
And again, we are very short time away. You figure it's March 20. Give me a second. 26th.
Sick.
We've got less than a few weeks. We got only a few short weeks. So yes, they could do a lot more to build, but then you'll have the people coming out. Oh, they rushed it through. They shoehorned this in. It's like you all need to make up your mind. You've got a great build for what's going to be a triple threat match with no, at least at press time, significant stakes to it. I still say both you and Aaron are on the same general page. That triple threat match should be a number one contender shot, and it should be for either the night after at WrestleMania, or not at Raw, excuse me, or it should be at the next major PLE, like Money in the Bank or something. And I pointed out last night, man, John and Punk at Money in the Bank in reverse roles, take my goddamn money.
I mean,
But
is it really reverse roles? Because Cena Punk was treated like the babyface anyway.
Well, I mean the entire build going in. You're going to have a fully developed asshole John Cena versus a Punk who is honestly not very much the rebel anymore. He is very much a company man. Yes, he's still the the agent of chaos that he's always been, but it's very clear now that both men have grown significantly. And if I can't this is an out loud statement, 14 years since that feud. Good God. Let me go grab my Ovaltine once we're off the air. Um, and just talking about John Steele's turn, being so involved in that mentally as Mikasa was, as I was, as we all were, who are acquainted with John Cena going into that pay per view. Um, it would be great to see it revisited to a certain extent. But yeah, the bottom line is the build is not solid. There's not really a substantiated card even right now. We've got, as far as I know, 6 matches off the top of my head I can think of right now. 7 with the world title as well. Because they've got the
yeah,
two world,
both the world titles, both the women's world
women's
titles.
title, triple threat with the,
Mhm.
with the boys. Naomi and Jade.
Yep.
And then I put one too many in there after all. But yeah, we have 6 matches and we're under 40 days out. So it's definitely, if it was the one at WrestleMania, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
This is why I say that they need to bring back, if they're going to do the battle royals, do them on the pre-show. Or if you don't have a ton of matches for WrestleMania, throw the battle royal on the main card. Make it, throw it in the middle of the show, have it open the show, do something. Like, I don't know. I'm sick. Like, there needs to be a men's battle royal. There absolutely needs to be a women's battle royal. You got just in NXT alone, all the freaking talent. Fly them to Vegas. Have them compete in the battle royal. You have so many women not doing the damn thing at WrestleMania. Throw them in there.
Nope.
Like, Lyra's not doing anything. Chelsea's not doing anything yet. Like,
yeah, exactly. Hell, have the battle royals on, start the show, or even have them both. Have them both in the same night's kind of rough, but
don't do it.
If you do that, if you're gonna have the battle royals WrestleMania weekend, have the men's winner face the secondary champion of their brand on Monday. Have the women's on Friday, or on NXT if it ends up being that. There again, it's not hard to book, it's just hard to finance. You don't got to finance shit. You already got them on the roster.
Yeah.
And again, if you take your suggestion and put the battle royals on the show instead of this half-assed, it's a WrestleMania battle royal, these kids aren't getting the WrestleMania moment because they're competing on SmackDown instead.
Yeah.
Put them on, give them their WrestleMania moment, even if it's the entrance. If they walk out in front of 100 and something thousand people, whatever it is in that stadium, I've been there, it's a big goddamn stadium. That's their WrestleMania moment. They're walking out to their song in front of the biggest crowd they've ever been in front of.
Yeah.
That's huge. And they're not at the point in their careers like Mick Foley was in 06 where they need that WrestleMania moment to be putting yourself through a table with fire. Like, the entrance will be their Mania moment for the moment.
Which his WrestleMania moment was after he had already retired 6 years earlier.
Which is amazing to me that he felt like he needed it. It's like, dude, you're Mick Foley. Like, you're a crazy person.
It's like, dude, you main evented WrestleMania.
Granted, it was one of the weakest WrestleManias of all time. My first one, notwithstanding. But yeah, one singles match, Greg, and it was a freaking cat fight between Moolah and Kitty and Terry. Just saying.
With Moolah and May ringside and Val Venus.
Yeah. Yes. The big Valrevsky. Oh my God, Lord. We're in the towel the whole time because why not? Striped towel. So the referee.
Of course. I wish that they would. I've said it since the pandemic. I hate that the Dre is on SmackDown.
It's horrible. Yes.
It makes no sense.
No.
It's like, it's part of WrestleMania weekend. We're going to throw the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which the entire reason for being on WrestleMania was because Andre won the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal.
Yep. I personally think that, okay, just hear me out here for a minute. Was it moved to the pre-show the following year in 2015, or was it still on the main show at that point?
No, it was on the pre-show in 2015. It was back on the main show in 2016, and then back on the pre-show up until WrestleMania 35, I think.
Okay. I say that because I forget at what point of the year Hogan had his little faux pas and had to be timed out again.
It was like middle of 2015. So
okay, so it was after he and the NWO made their run in. Okay. Okay. Then I don't know why I was moving to the pre-show already. Like, I mean, it's supposed to be for Andre. Hogan introduced it. It was a moment for him. It was a moment for, the WWE fans with Andre. And if there's such a about having the women's battle royal because it was originally after Mula, you've started to reintegrate the positivity about China. She's no longer with us. It can be the China Memorial Battle Royal if you do,
Yeah.
if you want to avoid the fabulous one. I don't blame you for that, by the way, folks.
And what's
It,
really
it,
worse? What's really worse, doing porn or like sexually abusing women that you train? I'm
it's they're both in the realm of I don't want to touch that with a 39.5 foot pole, but at the end of the day, China chose to have herself be sexually taken advantage of on camera. Mula's people didn't have that option. And if we're going to get into the darkness of it, fine, that's great. You can at me underscore Jeff Meacham. I don't give a fuck because I know I'm right here. It's again, it's not complicated. If you're worried about it, if you're worried about a stigma with the name, okay, take the name off both. Screw it. The WrestleMania Battle Royals. They had them on the pre-shows of prior WrestleManias.
I mean, when they first called it the Moolah Battle Royal, then they changed it to the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, and they left it alone.
Yeah.
Because Naomi won that one, Carmella won the year after, and then the pandemic came, and they were like, nope.
Yeah.
And they've only done two.
Yeah. And again, there are so many talented people on this WWE / NXT / LFG / Performance Center roster. There is no reason why we can't have two 30-person battle royals, one per night.
Yeah.
And as long as these WrestleMania cards are, if they're not going to give us a whole lot of quantity, we know we're going to get quality matches based on what's booked right now. As much as the build is what it is, Tiffany and Charlotte are going to have a great match. The Raw women are going to have a great title match. John and Cena, John and John Cena. I still can't see him apparently because I can't get his goddamn name right. John and Cody are going to tear the damn house down. They just are. The triple threat match is going to be the one that steals the show right out from under John and Cody. I fully believe that.
I think that match that men's triple threat. I think it main events.
I think it's main event night one. I think it
main event night one. I think Cody and Cena main event night two.
Yep. And again, that's not me trying to slight because the whole the Royal Rumble winner should main event. Jey Uso and Gunther aren't main eventing this show. I'm sorry.
I think Jey Uso and Gunther are opening night one. Honestly, like I've said this for weeks. It's like there's so much going on at this WrestleMania, and I think people would feel a certain way if Jey was main eventing. Like nothing against Jey, nothing against Gunther.
No.
Throw that match on first.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be the first time a Royal Rumble winner opened WrestleMania. I mean, that one for crying out loud.
I was gonna say, even we don't talk about that when there's things to break around Jeff. We don't do that, Greg. We don't do that.
He's fine.
It doesn't matter. It shouldn't have been the thing. But recent memory, Lesnar and Rollins opened up WrestleMania for the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not. And again, Roman's thing has always been, I'm either the last match or I'm the first match.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to be the first match we see. That's not going to happen.
That would be wild. So, men's triple threat.
Wouldn't it be something?
That would be.
Wow, that's fair. And I only say it's not because I really think there's going to be some sort of big angle at the end of that match where we have to go to bed Saturday night going, okay, that was that. Shit, what are they going to do to us tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
But Jey and Gunther opening, if Jey does indeed win the World Heavyweight Championship, and again, this is me totally stymieing the World Heavyweight Championship. Forgive me, those of you that are fans of that title, that belt. I could not ever see Jey Uso being the WWE champion. I can see Jey Uso being the World Heavyweight champion. I can see that.
Yeah.
So if we open night one with Jey winning, and we close night one with either Roman getting yet another WrestleMania main event victory, or something schmozzy happens at the end of night one, and then we open night two with, we'll go ahead and give that one to Tiffany and Charlotte because that's, whatever. And then we close with whatever's going to happen with John and Cody. I think those are fine bookends, personally. It's just a matter of what we see this week on SmackDown, and then for the next few weeks going in to the weekend.
I have a thought that the Women's World Championship, that match is going to happen somewhere before Jade and Naomi.
Okay.
Because, like, if your theory is right that Bianca was involved, then Bianca, like, they'll probably want to have Bianca not be screwed by Jade in the title match.
Bingo.
So,
yeah,
I feel like,
I would put Jade and Naomi on night 2. That way, if what I think is going to happen, and Bianca obtains via nefarious means, and we're not really clear on what happened at the end of night 2's match, we'll know exactly what's going on, and then we go into the summer with what. And again, there was this long theory about Bianca won't turn heel because she's the female John Cena and she's got the kids and the Make a Wish, and it's like, well, John turned.
Yeah, well, I mean, all bets are off.
That theory is gone because John not only turned, he isolated a single kid in a promo who was wearing his shit. Like, there is no normal. It's chaos. It's random acts of chaos now. So fuck it. Turn her.
Everything is possible now. Like, Cena turned heel in 2025. Anything can happen in the WWE. Yes. We're bringing that back.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody get a proper AI voiceover to be able to use Vince for that phrase, and I'm here for it. Hire this man. Let him do it.
You need a job, for crying out loud. Do it.
For crying out loud. I will say this, and people, we talked about this last night on the review as well. And again, major props to Colin for handling a room that was just. It's always chaotic on Tuesday night with the ODQ review, but man, Colin was a pro and he handled it very well the whole hour and a half. We went an hour and a half yesterday, just kind of by sheer random happenstance. As great as WWE is doing, as rough as the build is for WrestleMania, I really feel like the other companies around the world, the other promotions, are just either treading water, and what I mean by that is TNA is doing okay. But then they had all these office releases this week. I just go, that's interesting.
What is up with releasing Gail Kim? Like,
I don't. Yeah,
Gail Kim, like the glue that holds the Knockouts division together.
Yeah. The Anthem statement was very vague, and I feel like that was very much the same way they let Scott D'Amore go, which was initially thought of like, oh shit, we finally got the brand back, and now we lose Scott. Like, oh fuck. They've had a great couple of years. Let me not take it away from them. TNA has been on another level in the last 2 years. Now they've officially partnered with WWE, which is crazy in 2025. But TNA seems like they're treading, whereas AEW just seems overly desperate. Not too long after you signed off last week, we had some shit on national television that was just like, okay, this should be PLE stuff, but okay, we're just going to stab man on television. Got it.
How he doesn't have like Mox needs to get tested after that spot. Like, I don't know
where do you test him? On his spine for a possible infraction, on his lung for a possible puncture, or his brain for fucking doing it in the first place?
Or like an infection or something. Like
something. Yeah, I know what you meant for the actual but it's like, I look back, Greg, 13 years ago at those 3 guys jumping that rail and helping CM Punk retain the title.
Yeah.
And I wonder, had Mox been able to stick through the end of the Vince McMahon regime and get where we are now, I wonder if he looks back with regret. I really do. And I don't know John. I've not met him in person. I've barely met Renee. I don't know the man personally. But Seth Rollins is on top of the world in what is likely going to be a main event or a majorly featured attraction at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
As is Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And Jon Moxley, yes, he's the world champion. He is the top of the number 2 wrestling company in the world, arguably. But he's spending his Wednesday nights being impaled by a multi-faceted spike assault that could have very seriously gone a million different ways last week.
Yeah, I'm amazed that that's a spot that they put on national TV because
Yeah,
listen,
like
I understand that AEW wants I feel like they kind of want to blend the styles of like WCW, ECW, freaking XPW, crying out loud.
well, no, you know what?
Well, maybe not
Yeah.
XPW.
Well, no, because I brought this up last night. Yeah, CZW. There you go. Yeah, I brought this up. Tony is an admitted fan of ECW. He has said that countless times.
Yeah.
The problem is ECW worked because it was more than that violence and those and the blood and the gore and all the things. It was balanced out. XPW was never balanced out. CCW has never been balanced out to my knowledge. AEW was supposed to be an alternative, but it's not supposed to be alternative. We're trying to find at 2 o'clock in the morning on channel 648. Like, dude, you're on TNT and TBS, dude. Like, you need to not. And again, if he's booking for the sickos like him, great. But if he was a publicly traded company, if he was anything more than he is, he wouldn't be able to get away with it. And that doesn't sound like I'm calling him a criminal. It's not. It's criminal what he's done to this company in 5 years. Because for me, you and I always tried to sign off on Wednesday nights. Go watch Dynamite. Go watch. Go support. Do the thing.
Yeah.
I could give a shit if I get off the air at 5 o'clock tonight. I really don't care. If we were on Mondays, I'd be like, okay, let's go. Same with Tuesdays. Same with Fridays. It's no longer destination television for me.
See, Mondays would be a post show in the last couple of weeks.
That's valid. And what's so funny is I'm like, oh wait, I'm not going to be home. I have been picking up so much work at Disney. Like, I've not been home during the afternoons. Like, I sure still can't watch Raw.
But that's the nice thing about it being on Netflix because you can watch it like as soon as it's done.
Yes, it is. It is wonderful to have that instant access because we've not had that in the WWE Network or Peacock era. Like, you had to wait. Shit, for Raw, you had to wait a month.
Yeah.
Same with SmackDown. NXT was a little more easily accessible, but yeah, it's great to have stuff next day. And again, you can DVR it, yeah, but when you live in a house where your parents have Wild Wild West DVR back, 40 episodes, you gotta pick and choose.
Speaking of stuff being available on demand, how about that WCW YouTube channel?
Oh, I am so happy they did that. Like, I can't even fucking tell you what I need them to do. I need like right now, like WCW YouTube, if you're watching, I need WCW Saturday Night from 1996, 97. Get that shit up like right now because I'm in my binge and I just passed Halloween Havoc. So like, make it happen. Make it happen.
We got to throw episodes of WCW Worldwide in there too.
Why not? Why not? No, I shit, I just processed that. The way I set up my thing is I watch Raw, I watch Nitro, I watch ECW, like the hardcore TV episodes.
Yep.
I watch Superstars right now because it still hasn't become just the recap show. They're still like hell. They advanced the hell out of the Perfect and Helmsley storyline throughout that summer of '96. So because Perfect was on commentary.
Yeah.
WCW Saturday Night, they're not online. They're not there. Like I can find them on YouTube, but not every single week. So yeah, WCW on YouTube I think is great. They just need to find a balance, kind of like a lot of us do. Like, don't put everything up there all at once because then once people have satiated their stuff, it's like, okay, now what? They're doing it the right way. Much like the WWE Vault's doing it the right way. They're throwing shit out and they're making us go, ooh, oh, I remember that. Ooh, I want to watch that right now. So
I have to ask your thoughts if you've been following along with the list of the top 50 WrestleMania matches that they've been putting out there. They listed Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle as the 22nd best WrestleMania match.
Okay.
First of all, I feel like I'm not going to see Shane on that list at all. Second of all, I don't know if there are 21 regular WWE matches better than Angle and Michaels.
Fuck me, right? All right.
So
I
have to know the criteria. I'm confused as hell.
I was invested in that countdown until I forget what number they put it at. But Sammy and Kevin versus the Usos was
Oh,
20
they got
something.
that like 39.
39? Oh God, I was giving too much credit. Okay. All right.
Hold on. Let me find the list.
Yeah. Please, and we're talking top 40 or top 50 all together. I forgot
Top
already.
50.
Okay, so top 50. Okay. So Jay and Sammy versus Jay and Jimmy versus Sammy and Kevin from 2 years ago was that number.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It was at 30, not 39.
Okay. That's what I remember. I remember it was like 30 or 29. Okay. Jay and Jimmy versus Kevin and Sammy. There aren't 30 WrestleMania main events that were better than that match, let alone WrestleMania matches, period. Like, you figure there's been, not counting the two-nighters, roughly 46, 40. Where are we at on main events? Because we've had, how many two-nighters now WrestleMania now? Since 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So 30, so 35. So we've had 42, 45. Jeff can't count. Buy the shirt if you can find it on his website. We've had 45 WrestleMania main events.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Jay versus Sammy and Kevin is in the upper tier of those 45. And it's only number 30 on the WrestleMania matches, period. Bullshit.
Well,
Bullshit.
I mean, at least I think your logic is actually backwards because there's more WrestleMania matches than there are. Like if this was WrestleMania main events and it was number 30, yeah, we'd be throwing a hissy fit. I think some people still about it being 30 overall with like the 400 matches of Mania.
Okay, but my point is, even some of the matches that have been ranked above it do not like. There are some and I'll get back to what you were saying because it's also a what block, but I want to know the criteria too. I'm begging the criteria to be released because Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels being at number 22 is horseshit. It's not even bullshit. It's elephant shit. It's Jurassic Park Triceratops shit. Okay? That is one of the greatest matches in the history of professional wrestling in North America. And it can't break the top 20? No.
Well, I'm looking at this list. They have Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Thankfully, their 33 match, not their 20 match, at 47.
Okay.
The top
again, I want the criteria. You know what? Hell with it. You want something to do? Let's do our own list of this.
We should. I was about to say, I was looking through the list. I was like, because I saw Becky and Bianca, I was like, are they not going to have Sasha on this list at all? But the triple threat from 32 is up there. So, which
that one was good. That one was very good. As a matter,
they actually have the triple threat listed higher than Becky and Bianca, which I don't know about that.
It's debatable, but
I have like as far as top women's WrestleMania matches go, I have Sasha Bianca with Becky and Bianca like right there. Like,
that's fair.
They're neck and neck because that Becky Bianca match was beautiful. It was. Naturally, I have Sasha Bianca above that because
of course. No. I really think this is a all hands on deck Greg Sherry show topic.
I mean, I really do. I think we should wait. I think they're counting down, aren't they? They have 20.
Well, no, they are.
So 3 weeks.
They are.
So in 3 weeks' time, we'll have the full 50. So we could do our top 50. Like we could sit down and think of the top 50 matches in WrestleMania history and come up with our own list and present them. Or maybe we just make it. Maybe we find some time not on a live stream and discuss our top 50 WrestleMania matches. Make that a video series.
There you go. So,
yeah.
My question is 3 weeks prior to WrestleMania? My calendar's all off.
Let's see. So 3 weeks from today would be, come on, calendar.
2nd, 9th, 16th, April 16th.
So the Wednesday before WrestleMania.
Okay, if this list is done before WrestleMania, then yeah, we should definitely come together. And if you want to do another video series and get a threat, absolutely, I am here for that all day.
Yeah. So I think I'll coordinate.
Yeah,
I'll coordinate with you and Maddie at the very least, and we can have
yes,
we can have discussion shows. Are you busy tomorrow, by chance?
Tomorrow's actually the one day of work I have in the next week and a half.
Okay. Well, maybe sometime this weekend we can figure something out.
The weekend's much more. Well, Saturday's open, Sunday's not so good. I'll be at the parks playing with my niece.
Well, we'll figure it out.
That said it wrong in context. I'm taking my niece to Disneyland. God, just cancel me now. We're almost done.
But it gives us time to look at every single WrestleMania match that has ever happened and list them accordingly. Maybe we don't have to do 50 because 50 is a lot.
I say we do 40. It's been 40 WrestleMania. Let's do 40.
Yeah, we could do 40. I'm just
why are you doing 50? I don't know. It seems odd.
I feel like their number one is going to be Taker Shawn at 35 or 25 rather. 25, not 35.
Yeah.
Taker wasn't even at 35.
35 feels like it's still going on because we'll put people on the train platform.
Yeah, 35 still going. It's like Curtis Axel in the 2015 Rumble, still going.
We talked about that yesterday too. He got right up in the super chat. It's like, dude, they need to just say the hell with it. Have Curtis Axel do a run-in on Cody versus John and to have him be the champion. Just give him the damn title already. Joe Henning's earned it, by God.
He's been in the 2015 Royal Rumble for a decade at this point. I gotta be exhausted.
What we do is we have him do a run-in. He almost wins, and then Scotty comes in and does a run-in from his own Rumble and negates everything, and then we just go back to where we were. Oh, sweet Jesus. Poor
Controversy every year that ends in 05 because Scotty Too Hotty won that Royal Rumble.
Damn right he did.
Yeah.
You know.
And if you don't know, then now you know.
Josh, what'd you miss? Everything. It's 5 till, dude.
Crying out loud.
You missed the whole show, Mansfield. Anyway, yeah. But we do know that next Wednesday happens to be Josh's birthday.
Yes.
So
we will have
some
kind of birthday celebration.
Some kind of something for you, Mansfield. Some kind of something.
Josh is asking me if I'm ready for the Aaron Rodgers Steelers. No.
Did that actually happen?
There's been a lot of speculation about it. I suggested, I saw it in the comments as well, that Rodgers is going to wait till the Pat McAfee show in Pittsburgh to make the announcement, which is like,
God,
are you sure you want to do that? Because that's going to be such a mixed reaction of people, and it might be John Cena like mid to late 2000s level of.
I feel like Pat already had Hogan on right after all that shit went down here in LA. I don't know if Pat should do that. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's Pat McAfee if you're watching. Which I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to that. I wanted to go to that, but I still haven't found a place to.
Pat, we love you, and we want you to be successful. You don't need to incur Grandpa Rogers backlash. Like, no, just stop. And first of all, hey, don't you yell at me. I didn't leave the football chat yet. I had no reason to be in there, to be honest with you, because I don't talk about anything except how shitty the Cowboys are. Even that gets brought up at work. People, talk about football. It's like, I don't talk about football until we have a different GM. I said what I said. Until Jerry Jones finally figures out he should not be the GM, I am not talking about fandom professional football because my team is perennially doomed.
If Yeah, Pure Joe's might die in that seat.
No, for real. Yeah, I have no desire to see a live murder on any show, even Pat McAfee's show, because I like Pat. No. Hell, you know what though, Greg? If we can have a pursuit and guns drawn situation in Disneyland, all bets are off at this point. I don't really care.
So I have an idea for the
All right.
WrestleMania greatest matches of all time. I feel like we should each make our own list, and I will put them on an Excel spreadsheet and score them accordingly. Whatever gets the highest point value will be the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. That way, it's kind of a unified decision.
Yeah.
Even though some of us will have them ranked differently, I feel like it'll be.
Yeah.
It might cause a lot of ties closer to the bottom, but we'll see.
Well, but it's one of those. If enough matches get close to or the top vote, it'll be a hell of a lot better, easier in recording time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the main thing you missed about this, Josh, is Greg brought up the WrestleMania 50 greatest matches countdown and the fact that Cena, Angle and Michaels came in at 22, and between that and how low the WrestleMania 39 tag title match was, how low it was ranked, we're both shitting bricks over here.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, we're doing our own list now.
I might try and get as many people that have ever appeared on this show to send me a list.
Hell yeah.
So we can figure it out.
That needs to be, and if we can get enough people in on it, that could be a post WrestleMania extravaganza. So
the thing with making it a post WrestleMania one though is we then have to include the 41 match because otherwise it'd be dated already.
Yeah, that's fair. Damn, recency bias is a bitch too. Oh, I know you do, Josh. We've had that discussion. But we'll talk about it. For those of you that want to watch Dynamite, God bless you. You're braver than me. And it's going to start in a minute. So
yeah, which we'll probably just go off the air anyway. Which we appreciate everybody watching tonight.
Yeah,
yeah.
And welcome back, Twitterverse, to the audience, by the way.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for joining us, Jeff. Appreciate doing the show with you as always.
Always, man. Always good to see you.
So thank you very much for watching the Greg Cherry Show. We will see you next week. Don't be a jag. And let's make a real WrestleMania matches list.
Yeah. Let's make that list and make the effort to not be a jag. Can we make the full effort this week? Yes. Give us a week, folks. Let's know how it goes.
Don't half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.
That's right. Whole ass not being a jag for the next week. We'll check in next week.
All right. Have a good night.